This year, ladies and gents, has been an absolutely massive year for us. I'm gonna keep you guys in suspense for a little while, but let's talk about Steam's Best of 2024, because I did run a quick poll asking about it, and some people said they were interested in me talking about some of the things that are happening. Top sellers for this year. So, Steam. This is all Steam, not GOG. So Steam say Platinum is first to 12th. So this is on revenue. Platinum first to 12. So we'll talk about the top 12 games of the year that people have been doing on Steam. We'll only look at the Platinums. We won't look at any others. So for top sellers, Black Myth Wukong is first, followed by Space Marine 2. Both of those I'm very interested in playing at some stage. Apex, PUBG, COD Black Ops 6, Counter-Strike 2. Yeah, that's always very typical. Same with Dota 2. That's very typical. Destiny 2 is interesting. Elden Ring has got a nice resurgence because of the new Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, I imagine. Helldivers 2 is still going strong. Power World is quite surprising considering all the controversy around it. And Nintendo. Baldur's Gate 3 is also in the top 12. For new releases, this is the year's top new releases measured by gross revenue. The top 12, I believe, of these. Hang on, let me go right down. These are the best-selling releases of 24. This list is created by looking at every game released in 2024, then selecting the top ones based on their first 2 weeks of revenue after releasing. Each month's respective top releases can be found in the charts hub. Okay. So for the first 2 weeks, these were the top. These ones ended up selling the most. So NBA 2K25. Sports. Why don't you just go out and play it, damn it? Space Marine 2, Stalk 2, Heart of Chernobyl is fascinating. Black Ops 6 is in there again. Power World, Mana Lords is in there, which is a very interesting little game, Mana Lords. Black Myth Wukong, Path of Exile 2, and I know Path of Exile 2 is massive at the moment. I am tossing up if I really want to play Path of Exile 2 at this stage. Not yet locked in on that. And the reason why is because I'm still I'm hesitant. I'm very, very hesitant to play something like that because it's one of those games that I go, do I want to or do I not want to? Because I love Diablo style games. It's one of my favorite styles. But this one I'm just going, I'm holding myself back on it. Helldivers 2 is in there. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a big surprise. I wouldn't have expected that one to be in the top 12. And last but not least is Dragon's Dogma 2, which is not very surprising as well because Dragon's Dogma is one of the best, it's one of the more popular RPGs, and I have every intention to play that at some stage. Most played, so this is most played games measured by peak concurrent players. Oh man, that did not come up well. There we go. So most played games of 24, showcasing the games that eclipsed 50,000 peak players during 24. Games are grouped by the number of peak concurrent player counts that they've reached during the year. They've excluded player counts attributable to things like giveaways and free weekends. Okay. PoE 2 tops the list at over 450,000 peak players. So these next ones which I'm talking about, these 10 games, it's only 10, exceeded 450,000 peak players. PoE 2, Marvel Rivals, which is kind of surprising, but also kind of not because it's of FTP. Power World's in there. PUBG, yeah, that's not surprising. Dota 2 as well. Counter-Strike 2 is also not surprising. Black Myth Wukong is a little. Helldivers 2 is not surprising. Apex is not surprising. Elden Ring is a little bit, mainly because of how popular it is. So that's basically what I'm going to go through, just those 3 categories and only the top few. So some very interesting games in there, definitely. But now for the part which you guys are most interested in. Let's start. So there's 2 things I want to go through. One is the Twitch numbers for the year, and the other is the games for the year. Let's start with Twitch. Okay, first and foremost, we have been streaming, according to Twitch, up until a certain point. I think it's mid-December. We streamed for 410 hours in total. 176 streams. Your boy can't really enjoy streaming, but Unfortunately, he can't do it without you guys. Distinct days streamed is 210. So it's 210 distinct different days that I have been streaming. You guys, and I do appreciate it, have watched me for almost 1,280 hours. We're almost at 1,300 hours. I do appreciate you all for watching all of this. It is very, very much appreciated. The top categories, we have 5 games that... So these are the top 5 games that we've spent a lot of time streaming this year. Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition. No surprise, we've already gone past 70 hours in this game. But then again, now we're doing the DLC. The original, just the original campaign took us 68 hours. So that's not surprising that Neverwinter Nights tops the charts. Number 2 is Trails to Azure. No surprise again. We ended up about 60 odd hours into that game. There was a lot of stuff to do. Let me go back to Neverwinter Nights for a bit. If you enjoy D&D, I highly encourage you to play games like Neverwinter Nights. Play Neverwinter Nights. Play Baldur's Gate. Play Temple of Elemental Evil. All of these games are so good if you love D&D. Now, I understand people might go look at Baldur's Gate and go, what on earth is going on here? I do not understand a thing. Completely understandable. It's using 2nd edition rules, which to everyone else is non-intuitive. You know, why is it that I've got a high number and yet I'm getting hurt badly? It's because it's the exact opposite. You want low numbers. You want negative numbers in Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2. But it's unintuitive at that stage. I have to say, I do recommend you play through all of those. Icewind Dale 1, Icewind Dale 2, although I've got issues currently trying to stream Icewind Dale 2 to be fair, but those games are so good. If you love D&D, or if you love role-playing in general, and you don't mind a party looking on from a third person's perspective and playing this pseudo-tactics wise, you will really enjoy Baldur's Gate number 2, Icewind Dale 2. Neverwinter Nights is a little bit more single player focus, so you're controlling one character. But if you love, it uses 3rd edition rules, so whereas the others all use 2nd edition rules. So be aware of those changes, but I do highly recommend playing those. Let's talk Azure. It's a continuation of Trails from Zero. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I am planning to do a VOD on it at some stage. I just need to be in a mood for it, is the thing. So it will take a bit, and I do apologize. It is a game that I do have a lot to talk about. I think the people who make the Legend of Heroes series, right? Apparently the series is now basically done. They are fantastic writers. It is an incredible soap opera. It's an interactive soap opera that does not have the usual sex, drugs, and rock and roll in there. It is all about power dynamics and politics in there that just change things and warp your brain. I think it's absolutely fantastic on how they have written the story for both Zero and Azure. And next year we will be going into Cold Steel, but we'll talk more about next year after I finish talking about this year. Overall, fantastic game. Really enjoyed it, and I think you guys, if you enjoy RPGs and you enjoy watching soap operas and watching political intrigue, I think if you love watching Death Note because of the story in Death Note, you can really appreciate the Trails from Zero and Trails to Azure. I feel that it's that level of intrigue and politicking and gaming the system, so to speak. That's what it feels like, and that's what I feel the game is really good at. Game number 3 for the year is Repentance, no surprise. And I know that Repentance Plus is out. It's not on GOG. Instead, it's actually on Steam only. And that's because it's got an online component to it, and it's an always online. So it's no surprise. I doubt it's going to come to GOG at all. But what can I say that I haven't said about Isaac before? I really enjoy the game. It's a fantastic game. If you love roguelites, you will love Isaac. It's fantastic. Everything is crazy in there. There's jokes, memes, references galore. If you can pick up all of the references, you will enjoy this game as well. Game number 4, Chained Echoes. This game drives me nuts. Absolutely nuts. I cannot get this stupid overdrive system. For me, it is a game for min-maxers, and it is a game for people who love absolutely tweaking their characters. It is not a game for me, but we will finish it. I'm going to try to finish it very early next year. I hope to finish it by the end of January, but even better if I can finish it before then. I know there's a DLC coming. I'm not planning to do the DLC because this game drives me nuts. If you love min-maxing, and I will have a video for it, if you love min-maxing, if you love all that sort of stuff, you will love Chained Echoes. That's number 4 on Twitch. Number 5 for the year, Final Fantasy 15. Are you surprised? Because I kind of am, because I thought there might be some other games that I've actually played for longer. I mean, it's a Final Fantasy game. It's slightly different. It became more of an ARPG rather than the usual RPG. I think that it's... I did. For 15? Yeah, I'm very surprised that that came in at number 5 of the top categories for the year for me. It felt really quick, but to be fair, I also missed a lot of the side questing, and really there was a huge time skip as well, and I didn't realize I hit the point of no return before I actually hit it. So it doesn't surprise me so it's very surprising, and it's very quick compared to what I'm used to. So I think that overall, it's perturbing on the fact that it's in my top 5, but it is what it is. Top stream of the year peaked at 350 viewers. That's because we got raided by John Sandman. Thank you very much to John Sandman for the raid. It is greatly appreciated. We did hit 350 viewers that day, which I'm still absolutely gobsmacked about, and I do appreciate it a lot. Don't care about the top tags. 6,345 chats sent. You guys, I mean, I'm not going to say you guys are very chatty, because most of the time it just stops dead in its tracks at some point. So that's hilarious, but never mind. The top emotes, yes, I know, Necro, you love spamming those emotes. The smile, the laughter, and the anger, those ones are the biggest ones. Thank you very much to all of you who have been watching. I'm not going to go through the biggest fans because that's not very fair. But thank you all very much for watching. It is greatly appreciated. We've received 39 raids for the year. Thank you guys for also raiding. We've sent 127 raids, which is hilarious. I'm not going to talk about who we've been raiding. People, I do earnestly ask you, please, if you find something funny, if you find something hilarious, by all means, clip it. Please clip it. I love using your clips. I use it in the commercial breaks. I use it where I can. If you find something awesome, even if it's something awesome like, we beat the final boss on the first shot, or, we unexpectedly won the game somehow, or, Kastor does something stupid and falls off an edge in Bloodborne or something, by all means, clip it. Please. Please clip. I love watching the clips. I love looking through the clips. You have full permission to go nuts with the clips at the end of the day. We have 46 new followers. Thank you all for following. It is greatly appreciated. 7 new subscribers as well. Thank you again. Greatly appreciated. We had 4 hype trains this year, which is hilarious. Because, let's face it, Kastor doesn't really get hype trains. You guys have spent about 135,000 points, which I'm amazed about. That is really, really amazing. So, thank you all very, very much. It is very, very much appreciated from my perspective, let's talk about the games. So, I'm on How Long to Beat at the moment. Let me see if I can actually get this. Wait, do I want to get this up or not really? I don't know yet. I'll think about it. Anyway, so last year we finished 15 games. This year we finished 15 games. Isn't it funny? So at the moment the all-time record is 16 games back in 22 that we finished in 1 year. The lowest, by the way, for completionist sake, is 2 games in 2017. We actually finished 2 games in 17. But we finished 15 games this year. Let's dig a bit deeper into this. There are only 3 months when I did not finish a game. 3 months. August, October, and December. We did not finish a game. Every other month, we finished at least 1 game. The most was in January when we finished 3 games. We finished 15 games in total this year, which is very, very amazing. It took us in total to finish those games 7 days 20. So we've been playing about 7 days 20 hours of all of these games. That's added throughout all of the different streams and so forth. 1 to 7 years of game. So what I'm having a look on How Long to Beat at the moment, right? And it's talking about the generation breakdown. So they talk about new games, which is released this year, recent games, which was released 1 to 7 years ago, older games, which is 8 to 20 years ago, and then retro is 20 plus. So all of our games have been released between 20. If we're going backwards, we're going 23 up until 2004, I think. Does the math work out? Yeah, 2004. So between 2004 and 2023, all the games that we finished this year were released in that period. Out of that, it's almost an exact half split, believe it or not. That's games we finished. It's almost an exact half split. 8 games within the last 7 years, 7 games beyond that. So, what games did we end up finishing? Give me a second. I'm going to have a quick drink. I did say we are going to go through the whole year. So, you guys have been warned. This is an extended stream. Bloodstained, we finished this year. Fantastic game. I gave it an 85%. We finished it in 22 hours. I love my Metroidvanias, and that game is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It's got so many. It's basically like you could make it into a Castlevania game, and I would not bat an eyelid on it. It is that good. So the controls are tight. Heaps of customization. It does cater to a fair few different playstyles, and overall, it's just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. The bosses are over the top silly in terms of their designs, and it's definitely got, it's something really good with it. I really, really did enjoy playing Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Second game we finished was Braveland Pirate, which was a very strange twist on Braveland. Mainly because it's a pirate theme, so Army Hardies, but really enjoyed it. Pretty good. It took us 5 hours to finish it, which was hilarious. I gave it an 80% because I really did enjoy it. Very Heroes of Might and Magic like, if you love that sort, or King's Bounty is the other one. So Heroes of Might and Magic, King's Bounty style gaming. It's really, it's a lot of fun. Too bad they only made 3 games, but at the same time, I think 3 is about enough. Next one is Braveland Wizard, which was also a lot of fun. Same deal, but just a different setting. This time it's focused on spellcasters rather than on people who basically loot booty. That's booty, not booby. Next game, Final Fantasy 15 Complete Edition. I've already talked about that. I give it a 75 though, because of the fact that it was just a little bit, it didn't quite fit the mold of a Final Fantasy game, I felt. Next one was Freedom Planet. It took us about 4 hours to finish, which was very, very surprising. We didn't 100% it at all. But lots of fun. If you love Sonic games, that's one for you. I did enjoy it though. Next up, Hero of the Kingdom. There was Lost Tales 1 and 2 that we did. I really, like, it wasn't bad, but honestly, it felt a little bit like carbon copy with a few things changed, honestly. Um, Lost Tales 1 we finished in about 2.5 hours. Lost Tales 2 we finished in 3. Um, yeah, it was a little bit lackluster, I feel. 19 plus. Okay. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Actually, let me see if I've got... Because I did also end up quitting Odalis is the other thing. But never mind. Yeah, 19 plus. Tricky game. But we managed to beat it, which I was very, very happy about. It's definitely for speedrunners, honestly. It's built for speedrunning. Not for someone like me who likes taking my time. So, definitely worth a play. If you like the Legend of Zelda style games, especially the old school Legend of Zelda we're talking about, the very original one. If you like that sort of stuff, you will love 19 plus. Completed in about 4.5 hours, so you know it's a couple of streams. Knights of Pen and Paper 2 we finished this year. Took us about 10 hours to finish it. Really enjoyed Knights of Pen and Paper 2. Definitely better than the first game. It's a curious one, really. Very curious because, you know, it's definitely... I really enjoyed it. It's in the vein of a lot of these pen and paper style games, which I talked about Neverwinter Nights and Baldur's Gate and all those sorts of games. Same deal. Fantastic. You know, the way they actually brought it out was very good. I really enjoyed Knights of Pen and Paper 2. It was very, very well done. And I feel that it's I do have 3, but I'm very hesitant to play 3 because I've heard a lot of bad stuff about 3. So I may end up doing it just to complete the series, but I don't know yet. Nocturnal was finished this year. Another 2D side scroll. I was very surprised at how short that game was. It's only like 2.25 hours we finished it. So, yeah, if you like Metroidvanias, that's one for you. There is another game that I can think of called Death's Gambit and Blasphemous. Those two games are very, very similar to Nocturnal, but they're a little bit more Souls-like than Nocturnal is. Nocturnal also feels like it's got a lot of puzzle-based stuff in there, especially to do with the fire mechanic, and really it just feels like it's one of those things where I think if you like puzzles, that's probably a game that you can really sink your teeth into. I feel for Nocturnal. Sea of Stars. Oh boy, that is a great game. 28 hours to finish it, but I enjoyed it quite a lot. And we also managed to get the secret ending, I'm pretty sure, which is actually really cool. Took me a little longer than I expected, but you know what? That's okay. But yeah, secret ending was... I have to admit, I was not expecting a secret ending. I really was not expecting a secret ending. So, I think, well done. Brilliant, brilliant game. And I tell you what, Wheels is worth at least a little play. It's an amazing strategy game that's put into another game. You know, it's one of those... It's a game within a game. You know, like, the Final Fantasy VIII Triple Triad, for example, which was very, very popular. Blitzball in 10. Yeah, I feel that it's... things like that in a game really help to break the monotony of gaming. And, the monotony of storytelling and the monotony of side questing. It's just something different to do. And it was really fun. Very frustrating at times as well because of what can happen. But that's okay. It is what it is. That's Sea of Stars. Steam or Dig took us 3.5 hours to finish, but I had actually played it before. I'll also talk about the other one, which is SteamWorld Dig 2, which took us 6 hours to finish, double the time roughly. Back in the day, and I know I talked about this as well when I finished both games. Back in the day, I used to play, like, we're talking 2006, before the real big, internet gone absolute madhouse. I remember a website called Miniclip, and it's still alive today, which amazes me to no end. On Miniclip, there was a game called Motherload. Sorry, Motherload or Mothership? Motherload, I think it is. So much fun. What you did, you dug down, you gained minerals, you got back up, you upgraded your digging machine. It's the exact same thing with both games. So much fun. The big difference, SteamWorld Dig 2 expanded on it a lot more than what I expected. And it's so much fun to do. There's like, so SteamWorld Dig put the premise of everything where, you've got the basic mechanics down, and there's upgrades and all that sort of stuff, and you buy your upgrades and everything else. SteamWorld Dig 2 expanded on it by including little abilities, I think, to go with the with the upgrades. So you may all of a sudden have an upgrade that's like, oh, it's you may have XYZ, and then it's like, oh, and your light radius goes up by 1, and it's like, oh, okay, I didn't realize that. So it's things like that, that are really, really, you don't realize it, but it's actually really, really good, and it's thoroughly enjoyable that way. Trust as you already talked about it. It took us 62 hours to finish, which is insane. Last one we finished for this year was Transistor. Fantastic audio. If you love music in games, listen to the Transistor soundtrack. Fantastic. The mood, it really does set the mood of what's going on your screen, and the panic in combat. It's a very strange game in my brain. Like, I'm not very, like, I have to admit, I'm a very simple guy. I see something, I hit something. I see something else, I might go battle with them. I don't necessarily take the time to sit down and go, if I move my guy 5 inches that way, and then my guy another 10 inches the other way, am I going to be able to hit my enemy and run away far enough that I don't get hit back? I'm not that sort of a gamer. I'm much prefer going, I see something, I hit something. So it took me a lot longer than I expected because I kept dying a few times. But it's not all terrible, and I think I might be wrong, but there might be a secret ending to Transistor. There might be more than one ending to Transistor. So definitely worth a playthrough. I think you will really enjoy it if you love video game music as well. Now, last but not least, we actually did quit a game this year, which was Odalis, the Dark Call. That did quit, and I think we also lost Dink Smallwood because the game just would not work on our system. So yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate, but never mind. Apart from that, yeah, that's basically it for this year. So let's go through the crystal ball and talk about what's going to happen next year. Well, honestly, next year we're going to continue on. We've got one more Final Fantasy game to at least play, which is 16. That is coming up next after we finish Chained Echoes. Now, I did hear that 16's final boss is a long-ass fight. So, if I'm going to do 16, I'm actually going to make the final boss a standalone. I'm probably going to do a standalone video on it, where I will just play through and fight the final boss. Because apparently that last boss takes an hour. And at best, by the way, that's at best. So there's no way on earth I'm going to finish it within the 2-hour span that we've got for Kastor's Night. So I will actually work something out with that, and we'll deal with it. Neverwinter Nights is almost done. I am planning to do Neverwinter Nights 2, But I'm also very aware that it is a long ass game, so be aware of that. But to be fair, on the counter side, it is using 3.5 rules, so D&D 3.5 rules. So that's going to be rather interesting to play around with. What else is there? Well, we've also got Cold Steel to do, but unfortunately, Cold Steel is going to take 8,000 years to finish because, let's face it, it's Cold Steel. So we are definitely going to look at doing something along those lines. I know that the first Cold Steel game is going to take 70 hours at least, so expect that to take a good chunk of about 8 to 9 months at the very best. And so I'm actually thinking I might actually end up doing all the side quests for Cold Steel. If it's not in the way of the main quest, I might end up doing side quests on my own, just so that we get that sorted. What else is on the horizon? Hopefully we can get more D&D up. It'd be nice. I don't know how long we're going to take to finish Dragon Heist. So definitely check out YouTube for that one, because Waterdeep Dragon Heist is actually quite fun, and I am looking forward to when we can actually get back together and actually do more of that. And is there anything else that I'm trying to think about at the moment? Are there any other games? Well, I mean, I am trying to get the smaller games out as well, because honestly, like, I'm looking at some of these games and going, they are going to take a very damn long time to finish. So, I'm going to try and get out games like Costume Quest, for example. That's going to take about 6 hours. I'm looking back on how long to beat at the moment. So, we'll try and get Stories Path of Destiny's done as well. Elder Souls. What else is there? Cave Story Plus is another one that I'm going to try to get out as well. There's the Quest of Glory series, which is very, very ancient for those of you who are unaware. And even stuff like Undertale. I'm still yet to play Undertale, so I will play Undertale at some stage. So please watch this space. We are going to have a lot of different games for you guys to really, really sink your teeth into. Hopefully it's some games that you guys will really enjoy. Sin Slayers is in there, for example, but that one is coming. But I'm probably going to use the other edition of Sin Slayers rather than the normal edition. But for now, folks, thanks so much for your support this year. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. I hope to count on your support for next year. Hopefully we'll be able to do some other bits and pieces as well. Like some very fun stuff like hopefully, we will be bringing back Kastor Spooktober again, where we'll continue our bashing of the head for Dark Souls 3, and also some more GTFO. Let's face it, GTFO is scary as F, especially when it comes to trying hard not to panic when everything goes to absolute. So, yes. But I hope you guys will enjoy what I've got coming for you guys. Hopefully we can throw in some old, very, very old classic games. Lands of Lore is one that I really would like to do at some stage. But hopefully we can do some really old stuff, some real new stuff, and everything in between. So that is my hope. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Hopefully you guys will continue to support the channel. I can't do this without you guys, because you guys actually, you guys are watching it. You guys help, make all of this possible, because you guys are in chat. You guys are talking to me. So with that, folks, thank you so much. We will be back. Hang on, before I forget.